It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
The Brilliant Reports podcast.
Tobias Harris and CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
Tobias plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. CJ McCollum plays for the Portland Trail Blazers. Tobias Harris was in a press conference. Taylor can put the audio here if she's not hating on the situation.
Okay.
But
nothing against the T-shirts, but we want to make sure that Daniel Cameron will arrest the cops and officers involved with Breonna Taylor's death. And that's all I got to say.
Okay.
But Tobias refused to answer any questions other than to say Daniel Cameron, and I don't even know if that's his name because y'all know I'm terrible with names. I know his last name is definitely Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
But the I think the Attorney General in Kentucky or the DA in Kentucky, I don't know what the fuck his title is, but he was like, I am not saying anything other than he needs to arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. Mm-hmm. And then CJ McCollum spoke about a great conversation he had with Breonna Taylor's mom and how they need to arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. Now, all of it went viral. If you notice, the media has moved away from those protests. They're not showing you the protest anymore, even though they're happening. They're showing you what's going on in Portland, but that's only because the military is there beating up protesters and breaking up protests. But for the most part, the media is not showing you the protest no more. They back on COVID, and they back on the upcoming election, and they on Kanye West, right? So it is good that you have the NBA coming back and Major League Baseball even yesterday. Those guys were taking a knee. So it just keeps awareness on what's going on out there in those streets. And this is something else I thought about. And think about the people who aren't LeBron James. Think about the people who aren't Kyrie Irving. Think about those guys who don't have a voice as big as theirs. The only place they'll be able to maximize their voice is with that NBA platform, is at those press conferences. Think about the people who tweet things like this all day long, post stuff on their Instagram, and nobody cares because they don't have a bigger voice as LeBron and whoever else. This is why the NBA will not be a distraction. This is why the NBA and really all sports are going to be so necessary over the next few months because it will be athlete activism. It will be protest through sports. I think it's going to be great.
Question. And this is about the Breonna Taylor thing because I've been just reading up about this a little bit. So just break down the events because I'm trying to find out who needs to be held accountable. Who specifically do you point the blame at,
The
right?
person that made the charge, told them to.
So they're saying arrest the police officers, right? They killed Breonna Taylor. But the police officers were acting on behalf of a faulty warrant, right? A warrant that had the wrong address. And there's a rule that allowed them to just break into a house without a knock, right? So, and correct me if I'm wrong, did the police officers do what they were legally allowed to do and what they were supposed to do?
That I'm not sure of. I don't know.
Because I keep hearing people go, arrest the police officers. And my concern is that not enough people understand what happened with the Breonna Taylor case so that when they see the police officers not being arrested, they're going, see, look, this is a failure of our justice system. When they don't realize that the person who created this situation is the person who put the wrong address on the warrant for arrest or warrant for search and seizure.
Now, I've heard people say that they should arrest the person who issued the warrant as well, but I think with the police officers,
she was alive still.
The fact that they came in the house and when they shot her, they didn't issue her any aid.
Yeah.
It said she was alive. It said she was alive for like 6 minutes after the fact.
Yeah.
And they didn't issue any aid whatsoever.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I think that's where
so they were negligent. They were negligent after the mistake that they made. And you'd have to prove that they purposely were negligent. I think there's some other things that they did afterwards. They tried to cover it up or something like that.
Yeah, they told the mom that she was going to, or that she's at the hospital already. The mom goes to the hospital,
and she wasn't there
for 2 hours, comes back, she's still in the house.
Right. So it seems to me that there is a cover up for a mistake that
It definitely was a cover up. I can't remember what it was though.
right. So then you can hold them accountable for the cover up. My concern with these things is that we keep pushing a message out there to the world that can't be tried in the court of law, right? This is like a really fucked up case. Obviously, the cops it looks like as if the cops have covered it up. So you have to press charges on them for covering up the murder. You have to press charges on them for like maybe not attending to the body after they shot it, right? But going into the house in the first place, it seems as if it wasn't their fault. No?
Well, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have enough information on the case as
That's the
to
thing.
why they want the police officers arrested. But I know that there's people who've been working on this case and researching this case far more than I have, so they understand why the officers need to be arrested. I do know, like I'm reading here now in the New York Times, she received no medical attention for more than 20 minutes after she was shot.
Right.
And the police have been investigating 2 men who they believed were selling drugs out of a house that was far from Miss Taylor's home. But a judge had also signed a warrant allowing the police to search Miss Taylor's residence because the police said they believed one of the 2 men had used her apartment to receive packages. And the judge ordered a so-called no-knock warrant, which allowed the police to enter without warning or without identifying themselves as law enforcement. No drugs were in their apartment, nothing. So
It seems like at bare minimum, this entire case needs to be investigated, and maybe from a neutral source, not internal, whatever it is. Like, what is that thing, Alex, where like the police investigate themselves?
Internal affairs?
Yeah, like not internal affairs. I'm talking about a neutral outside source got to come in and look at this case top to bottom and see, because it seems like there's a lot of mistakes that were being made and a lot of cover-ups that have happened. And that's what happens when the justice system is connected to the police system. Obviously, you're going to take care of your boy. That's what people do.
Yeah, the officers, they didn't knock.
Well, then
entering, the
don't have
officer said the officer said they did knock.
Oh,
right? Yeah, they said they did knock and did identify themselves. But her boyfriend said he didn't. They didn't, and that's why he feared for his life and he fired in self-defense. And they said that the police report contained a bunch of errors. It listed Breonna Taylor's injuries as none, even though she had been shot 8 times. And indicated that police had not forced their way into the apartment, even though they used a battering ram to break the door open.
Yeah, this whole case needs to be looked at. This whole case needs to be reviewed. There's a lot of wild shit going on over here.